The main topic here, Bad Bunny halftime show. You didn't watch it. He did not have on a dress, but it was all in Spanish. It was all about Latino culture, Hispanic culture. Woo. And his theme was what's stronger than hate is love or some mess like that. Donald Trump.
Make love, man, not war, man. It's all about love, power, man.
So I put
Yeah.
in the title versus Donald Trump's halftime because TPUSA, they did their own halftime with Kid Rock. And I did catch some of that. It was good. They had over, when I first started watching, it was like 5 million and it went higher than that. So right now they got 60 million views on YouTube and it's growing. So, but Donald Trump posted this about Bad Bunny halftime. He says, the Super Bowl halftime show is absolutely terrible, one of the worst ever. It makes no sense. It is an affront to the greatness of America and doesn't represent our standards of success, creativity, or excellence. Nobody understands a word this guy is saying, and the dancing is disgusting, especially for young children that are watching from throughout the USA and all over the world. This show is just a slap in the face to our country, which is setting new standards and records every single day, including the best stock market and 401k in history. There is nothing inspirational about this mess of a halftime show. And watch, it will get great reviews from the fake news media because they haven't got a clue of what is going on in the real world. And by the way, the NFL should immediately replace its ridiculous new kickoff rule, make America great again, President Donald J. Trump.
You know, when I first started going to football games, my old man would take me. We lived in Los Angeles, so he was a grad student at UCLA. We went to watch UCLA games, and they had the LA Rams. And the Rams were supported by a lot of black folk because they had hired the first black football player to play in the NFL, Kenny Washington, who was the quarterback for UCLA in the late 30s, along with Jackie Robinson being a running back. That's the best baseball player. And Don Barksdale being a wide receiver, who was the first person that the Lakers hired to play in the NBA who was black. So we went. And back then, the pros had a rule that if you got tackled and you could get up before the whistle blew, you could keep running. Now, obviously, that was a rougher game. And I acquired an old Rawlings football helmet recently as a collector's item, and I'm comparing this thing with some we had by Wilson that were old, that were in the equipment room at Dorsey High when I played football back at the beginning of the 60s there. We didn't wear those. We wore these Rydell's that had come out with webbing, not pads. And because, I mean, they are so flimsy. All they're doing is keeping you from getting an abrasion if you get bumped. There's nothing to protect you from a sound collision. And football was so much rougher, and now it has gotten so milquetoast little soft that I was amazed that the players did not, a lot of them don't even have knee pads on or anything on their knees. They have pedal pushers, we used to call them, for the girls, and long socks. And
Well,
I'm going,
I don't know what the new kickoff rule is, but
it's to prevent injuries. And it's like half the appeal of football was you had these guys, big and small, who were willing to go out there and risk death or serious bodily injury. It was a rite of passage. And there was something about playing football that built some lifetime character for you. I played at Dorsey and at UCLA for a bit, so
well,
it still is with me. But I mean, there is this thing about how soft has it gotten.
it says review Bad Bunny brought Puerto Rico's history and culture to a revolutionary Super Bowl. He started with a huge reggaeton and then some of his hits. He remerged on top of a casita, a little house, And he also, when the beginning of the Super Bowl, you saw like sugarcane fields and I guess the farmers. Well, when I see sugarcane fields, I'm automatically thinking not the farmers, but the enslaved people that was working those sugarcane fields. If we really want to talk about history. But anyway,
They used to say if you wanted to die as a slave, be bad and get sent south to work to death in the sugarcane fields.
but you didn't watch it, right?
I looked at it later, a recording, some parts of it. I just turned it off. I like Hispanic music. I like reggae music. I'm a
Oh, so do
fan.
I.
But I mean, it's got nothing to do with displaying um, what you need to display for a national event. I watched the first Super Bowl that they ever had, Super Bowl one, and most of them for the first 20, 30 years worth. What are we at, 60 now? But they've just gotten boring. They've gotten so everything's computerized, so you see the yellow lines and the lines on the TV screen that look like they're on the ground because people don't know what the linesmen are doing over on the side, so they don't know how to tell where things are. They don't know the rules. The Super Bowl commercials, which used to be great and entertaining, really out there. Now they're insipid garbage where they're getting 8 year olds to vote on them, which they used to be a tradition. And now you have some Snoopy floats at Macy's parades on some kind of commercial to get best commercial. It's
Well,
gotten ridiculous. It's so soft, and then they get upset with my Miss Jackson, Janet Jackson, having a wardrobe malfunction, but they got fat, flabby looking. What's her name? Lizzo, butt twerking up there at a Lakers playoff game for minutes at a time, rather than a flash you'd have to record on your system and then play it back frame by frame to see. I mean, it's gotten, what is wrong with us? You've destroyed manhood. You sissied up the game, and I say sissy up because it's just gotten so weak these days, and they get paid so much, and they complain so much about, oh, yeah, I got hurt. Oh, yeah. Coaches used to say, walk it off, son, get back in the game,
well,
but
let
they
me say
don't
this.
now. So I mean, why look at it?
Okay, fine, but we're focused not on the football game because I thought
I
that
know.
was
Well,
like,
let me say something about that. I was
fine,
in
but
Miami airport, and I had to go to three different terminals to find somebody that could speak English. Now, I no habla español muy bien que comprende mucho. I mean, I have nothing against the Spanish language, but it is not the language of the country. I have nothing against Ako über Deutschland. Sprachen Sie Deutsch? No, but it is not the name of the language that we use for this country. Ne parle français bien. I speak a little French, but it's not the national language like it is up in Canada. Same with Italian. A whole lot of stuff. So why are they doing this? And I have to ferret out the garbage and say there is a plot. And it's got to do with trying to keep control of this country in terms of illegal immigrants, in terms of compromising national security, in terms of California, New York, New Jersey, etc., are going to lose at least 6 congressmen by 2030, which will cause their iron grip on this weird rainbow cult pushing that they're doing to dissipate to an extent. And I'm saying there's a plan here, and I don't want to be part of it because I don't like it. Get your freak on in your damn bedroom, but the rest of this stuff, it's like anything else. We forbid people teaching Christianity, Judaism, Islam, Buddhism, Hinduism, Confucianism, etc., in our schools and public places, but they get to teach rainbow.
so here's the thing: there was nothing rainbowish about the halftime, and that's what people thought that he was going to do, because he has been seen before, pictured wearing women clothes, dresses, and stuff like that on red carpets. But it was very Latino and Hispanic heritage and family. It was a wedding that took place, yada, 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 right? I don't have a problem with the dancing. I don't have a problem that it wasn't in English. We've had other performers during halftime that sang in Spanish as well. It's just that it wasn't creative enough. I'm sorry. And if you are going to sing in Spanish, make it be creative to where, even though you can't speak Spanish, like you said, you still enjoy it because you could feel what they're actually talking about. You could feel it. I didn't really feel it. And I think that Chris Brown would have been a better choice. And I hope they pick him next year. Also, I wanted to highlight this because you brought up the immigration, right? Because it is political. Because I'm saying fake rage is our key word slogan today. Because everyone was in a hoopla of Bad Bunny, the Grammy speech, when he was talking about we're not savages and anti-ICE, and your whole halftime performance is about Puerto Rico, even though it is part of the United States and including America with all the other South American countries. He was shouting them all out. We're different. But after the halftime, the anti-ICE commercial here came on. I mean, not anti-ICE, the ICE immigration commercial came on. Because he keeps talking about love, 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 love. We all need to come together and love one another. That's all well and good. I believe in borders. We still have a border. And ICE went back to work 6 a.m. Monday morning. That has nothing to do with the illegals that are here. So all the reggaeton singing, ass shaking, speaking in Spanish, singing in Spanish, that has nothing to do with the fact that if you are illegal, you need to be deported.
If I might offer for the big picture, the Super Bowl halftime entertainment at one point got very interesting and adult oriented. It was interesting, like I said, office linebacker, the Budweiser frogs. They were fascinating, very creative, very entertaining. The commercials were better than some mainstream productions I'd seen. All right, now, you don't have Budweiser frogs. You got that freak looking boy in a blue sports bra and blue panties in a bubble bath advertising Budweiser and some other things, but you can't get away from the fact that dude was in a dress and you associate that in your mind. But let's say they had that boy in the blue bra and panty set trying to advertise something that was associated with masculinity or family values, it just wouldn't work. That's like what Subway did as a franchise when they brought that guy on with the glasses. He was in pretty good shape where he lost all that, several 100 pounds worth of weight eating Subway sandwiches. And then we find out later he's in penitentiary now for child molestation. So you see, you bring somebody with the bad background, you try to make them into something wholesome, it doesn't work. And then you find out what is going on. Well, see, there have been too many opportunities for us to discover what's been going on. I mean, belatedly, people are all worked up about the Epstein stuff, which right now is just minor potatoes in a big basket of French fries that have to do with more important things to the country's well-being, and it's a distraction. So they're taking somebody that's got a reputation for being in a dress, and they want to take something that is a respectable part of the American culture and make it the whole thing. And they want to make the whole game, which used to be the girls wanted to look at the guys, and they had a song from back in the late 30s. If you want to be get along with the beautiful girls, you got to be a football hero.
Mm-hmm.
And the military looked for football players, and everybody kind of looked up to them as the big masculine guys on campus, and that's what the Super Bowl was about. The girls got to watch it like guys used to watch beauty contests, which they don't have anymore.
Well,
And
let me bring this up because
it's just like, what's happening here?
well, here's the thing too. So they were asking the football players, the guys that were playing in the Super Bowl, who were a part of Seattle and the Patriots, about the halftime, and majority of them never heard of Bad Bunny. So I want to play a couple of clips here.
What's your favorite Bad Bunny song?
I already got one. Sorry about that.
I don't know who that is.
I never heard of Bad Bunny. I don't know who that is.
I heard performing at halftime.
Yeah, I don't know who that is. I don't know no Bad Bunny song.
Do you think they made a mistake?
I believe so. I ain't never heard of bro till now.
I don't have one.
I don't listen to him.
I don't know any song.
Oh, what the heck's it called? I blanked out the name.
I don't think I have one.
I don't know Bad Bunny song. That's a tough one. I don't have one.
I don't really listen to that, but I can't lie.
I really do not know any. I haven't listened to any songs.
I don't know any to keep it G.
I just tuned into Bad Bunny this morning because is it DTMF? DTM2. Like second favorite. I don't think I can. I like Titini Pregunto. Seda and Moscow Mule.
What is it, Monaco?
The one with Cardi B. I can't remember the name. I don't really listen to Bad Bunny, bro. It's the one that goes, boy.
You see what they're doing here?
That's all I know, though. That's because.
You see what they're doing? These players and most other people don't know who in the hell Bad Bunny is, but this weird bunch in Hollywood, this real weird bunch that pushes this strange agenda, they know, so they were propagandizing. They put somebody on who, for most people, is a nobody. And they pushed him like he was somebody.
Mm-hmm.
And it was to push this agenda. That's what precisely what I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Now, he might be a fine guy, but you don't come across that way with me when you flounce around in a dress and you start playing that other rainbow cult nonsense. You see, I'm bad-mouthing the rules of football, but these young guys can't help it, and I'm sure they're dedicated to the sport, but they're missing something. It's the opportunity to really put it on the line and face danger. And if you go through an era, an eon, where you face real live danger and you come out and you survive in one piece or basically in one piece, you are one hell of a guy for the rest of your life because you have had get this, rite of passage. In other words, it was very dangerous. You put yourself in it and you survived it. That's part of the greatness of people coming back as veterans. Maybe they'd come back mutilated or in a box, or maybe they weren't found. But if you survived, you had been thoroughly tested. So we are depriving the boys of the opportunity to be really vigorously, dangerously tested. And spending a night out in the woods is not a rite of passage. That's BS because you didn't put it on the line where you might get seriously hurt or killed doing it. They're in cane fields. Why in hell would the descendants of anybody who was doomed, condemned to working in cane fields celebrate it by having a festive event centered on it as a backdrop? That is absolutely stupid. And that's some crazy crap some fool in Hollywood came up with. We're going to celebrate this exciting history where the Negroes on the Puerto Rican islands that were held by Spain, they worked out here in the cane fields. Oh God, can you just see the impact? Yeah.
That's the thing, because there were no Negroes in his halftime. You could probably count it on one hand.
Oh, they're Negroes in Puerto Rico. They brought a lot of them in.
Listen. The colorism in the Latin community and the Latin countries and Hispanic islands, the colorism is very deep there. So I'm talking about this halftime. He didn't have a lot of dark skin or Afro Latina looking people in this halftime. So when you think
they have them in Puerto Rico, but you're right, they didn't display any.
Yeah, he didn't display a lot because he's light skinned himself. But the fact is that you're calling them Negro, they don't consider themselves Negro.
Wait a
And
minute.
they
Wait a
never
minute.
did.
One of the most interesting black comedians, a woman, personal friend of mine, very good personal friend of mine. She is paper bag brown and gorgeous. She's one of a group of 14 siblings. They all have the same mom and dad. And they range, if you saw the group of them, from white, blonde haired, blue eyed to so dark they look like they just got off the boat. And they all have the same mom and dad because that's the gene pool in Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico was one of Columbus's first stops. Uh, the Spanish Empire ran Puerto Rico, and that's how we got the term Negroes. They were bringing in Negroes from Africa, they called them that, as slaves because they found the Indians that were indigenous to the area refused to do slave labor. They'd starve and die. So what went on is we have this bit where Puerto Rico was a center of the Spanish slave trade when it came to the Caribbean. And we acquired Puerto Rico by might and force of arms from the Spanish Empire in the Spanish American War in 1898. A lot of them came to America. They lived in Harlem. You've heard there is a rose in Spanish Harlem. That's what that's got to do with. A beautiful Puerto Rican woman lived in Spanish Harlem. During World War I, the Harlem Hellfighters, which was the biggest division in the U.S. Army, 18,000 men, was composed equally of Caribbean blacks, mostly from Puerto Rico, and black folk previously from the American South. They got sent to fight with the French by General John J. Blackjack Pershing, who got that nickname Blackjack because he commanded black troops and was friendly to them. He said, I don't want these black troops to be under Southern bigots, so I'm sending them to be a sop to the political diplomatic scene, but they'll work under French officers who will be able to relate to them more thoroughly. Now, that kind of thing is, there is a compadre thing between Puerto Ricans and North American continental black folk. But to come up and sit there and do what he did is a disservice to everybody because, as you see, you don't see any dark skinned folk. You go to this district, the administrative district, and they've got St. Thomas is there. The American Virgin Islands are there. They operate under the administrative district of Puerto Rico. So you've got plenty of black folk in this district, but you don't get any representation. Mm-hmm. See, you go to these places, and I've been there as a guest of people in their government to speak to schools, and you see black kids, and you see some near white Hispanic kids and some not near so near white Hispanic kids. And you see a bunch of each. And he just cut out one whole group, but you can tell what he is because he's obviously got black in him. Mm-hmm. There's no getting around it. Hair, everything, facial features, you name it. Mm-hmm. And I don't like what they did. You see, there is a contingency in Puerto Rico that's been trying to become the 51st state. And there is a contingency that doesn't want it, just like with Hawaii, just like with Alaska. And this is a political statement where it cuts out a huge swath of the Puerto Rican population, doesn't deal with them. It deals with this detailing of the cane fields. And interestingly enough, historically, the ones that look like what you're seeing, they didn't work in the cane fields. They were the overseers or they were the owners. They were the Spaniards or what passed for Spaniards. And the Negroes that they are not showing were the ones that were out there slaving in the cotton fields. And like they used to have a saying in America, boy, you been bad mouths are gonna sell you south to die in them cane fields. See, so
yeah,
it is a negative thing for everybody that actually had some slave ancestry, a horribly negative thing. It's like Jews, for example, celebrating Auschwitz. It would make no sense, unless somebody was saying, we want to, just discredit the Holocaust. So we're going to put this in there. So, like, Jews rejoice on the good times they all had brought together in the ghettos and in the concentration camps, which is BS. That's what they're doing with this. And if you don't know what you're looking at, you go, oh my God, that was so sensitive and inclusive. Oh my God.
Right. So, yeah, honestly, I give the halftime show a 5. I give the pre-show, the Lift Every Voice performance 5. And they could do better. And hopefully they will get Chris Brown or somebody next year that is better than Bad Bunny.
You know what? Why don't they get another Marvin Gaye? They can find one to sing the stars.
I just want somebody.
No. Look. Why don't they get another Marvin Gaye or somebody who can do something creative with the Star Spangled Banner to show our slant on it? That's inclusive of the team.
Talk about halftime.
Yeah, I know. But what I'm saying is they've come up with the same old stereotype. We shall overcome, which is not going to be appreciated by a large proportion or segment of the audience that's viewing. In other words, the song itself says, oh, pathetic Negroes, they've suffered so much. One day somebody will come in and bless them after they've suffered enough. Hell, get up off your ass and do something to satisfy your own circumstances. That's like Marseillaise, the French national anthem. That's like the one that the Germans have. It's get up, move, and save yourself. Egalitaire, fraternity, egality, inequality, equality, brotherhood, and fraternity. You celebrate stuff and want people to be galvanized to go do something.
You might not like the truth, but I'll never tell a lie. Bad Bunny, when you speak for Latinos, you speak for your self, homeboy. Somebody who actually lives in Puerto Rico, which you don't. I can tell you that the majority of people here call him Benito el Comunista. Benito, the communist. Because when it comes to Bad Bunny, two things can be true at the same time. You could be an amazing musician and make great music, but you can also have garbage ass political views. And what's happening with the Super Bowl is nothing but a political stunt. In Puerto Rico, Bad Bunny is part of the political party that wants independence for Puerto Rico. He has extreme leftist views. Think AOC with auto-tune. And I want to say that as a gay man, please stop pandering to the gay community. Very inauthentic. And you being a role model for boys while pushing hyper-feminization is something I don't. While he's out screaming independence for Puerto Rico, he's doing it all from his Malibu mansion while flying private from here to there. Yet he wants Puerto Ricans to give up their passport. Well, newsflash, Benito. If you want Puerto Ricans to give up their U.S. citizenship and their passports, you should be the first one in line. Lead by example. But you won't do it, will you? So while you're out here selling "We Should Hate America" to young Puerto Rican men, I find it absolutely ironic that you're doing it all while living what? The American dream. Yeah, you see, he believes that us Puerto Ricans should give up our citizenship, yet he's out here fighting for illegals to get green cards. How the f does that shit work, homeboy? You're a fucking walking contradiction. Let me tell you something. I grew up in New York, and I have the things that I have, and I'm at where I'm at because of my U.S. citizenship. Puerto Ricans are literally the only ones in Latin America that can go to any state without any hassle. We were given the golden ticket. Now this clown wants to go ahead and take it away to give it to illegals. I don't think so, homeboy. So what, you're gonna go to the Super Bowl with the president there, trying to make a political statement? Well, let me tell you something. 48% of Latino men voted for Trump. That's the majority. So I don't know who your demographic is right now. I also find it quite hilarious that you like to bash President Trump, yet you always conveniently leave out all the horrible, corrupt governments that these people are fleeing from. Why don't you call out those leaders? Because that doesn't fit an agenda, does it? That's right. Bad Bunny, brought to you by Venezuela. Because see, what pisses me off is that he's out here using his platform to paint Latinos as victims. Newsflash, homeboy, we voted for all this. Oh, that's right. We voted for President Trump to secure that fucking border and deport any that came in here illegally. Oh, Bad Bunny cancels his US tour because of President Trump. No. This is not against President Trump. This is against your very own fans. Let's call out the hypocrisy, homeboy. Your millions come from American banks. You get paid in American dollars. Your Nike and Adidas deal? Oh, American companies. And your luxury lifestyle? All built on the capitalism that you pretend to hate so much. And your money being stored in American banks. See, you're out here wanting to play revolutionary while at the same time collecting capitalist checks. Don't be a hypocrite, and don't ignore the Puerto Ricans who have built a life in the United States. Not to mention all the Puerto Ricans serving in our military. So you can continue to cancel concerts over President Trump, but President Trump isn't the problem. No, it's your hypocrisy that's the problem. As a great artist can be an absolutely terrible political influence. Both can be true at the very same time. You can't gaslight me, homeboy. But now I want to hear from you guys. Do you think it's hypocritical of Bad Bunny to perform in the United States while he actively demonizes the United States? Let me know in the comments below. And as always, love you guys. Peace.
He was just saying too many F words for me.
Yeah, but love it. See, by the way, he can get away with saying the F words. What do you think they'd do to us on YouTube?
That's why I'm saying, like, yeah.
Yeah. But he's on YouTube. The whole thing's filled
He's
with.
on TikTok, and so but it's just posted on.
Well, yeah, he just said that, but anyhow,
They pick on us.
Look
They
here.
pick on us, but
let's see if we can get him on the show. I like him. See, I ain't got nothing against gay folk. It's that politics that some of them have. That rainbow bullshit where it's a cult, a theology of Bad Bunny bullshit. So anyway, that I love that. Yes,
because he's reminding. No, there are no victims, and you trying to paint them as a victim. Do you know what these Latin countries' government what they do? They're corrupt, and it's like, this is why I am against celebrities participating in politics or voicing their opinion in politics. Like, come on.
It's not their opinion. They get told what to say and when to say it.
Right.
That's one of the reasons I retired after 15 years. It was, excuse the language, fuck you, Hollywood. I'm not going to get up and help you publicize that rainbow bullshit. Mm-hmm. You can kiss my ass. And then I said, no, they'd probably like that. But anyway,
right.
I quit.
Right.
So, see, that's what they're doing. These guys love the money. They're young enough not to have done other stuff in their lives except their entertainment. So that's becomes something they're too thoroughly addicted to because they don't have any other way of making it other than entertaining. So,
yeah. Well,
they get told what to do, what to say, when to say it, where to say it. And they push it because it promotes the agenda of those weirdos out in Hollywood.
Right.